Hey, I'm Jay, and I have something to say about Reaper Bones 6 Kickstarter.
So, if you guys aren't aware of where to get some information, um, the Reaper guys are doing a live coverage every weekday. They're taking off the weekends. Good for them. But around 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central. They're in Texas, so they're Central Time. And sometimes they just chat, but sometimes they give previews. Sometimes they slip and put up a picture they didn't mean to and give some previews there. But yesterday they made some announcements, and they finally just put out this update that instead of waiting for another $80,000, they're unlocking the vampire set and the skeletons at the same time for the Sullen Hall. And they're going to do the same thing with the Briarwood Fae expansion. They're going to release parts 4 and 5 at the same time. So it's become a 4-part stretch goal instead of a 5-part stretch goal. So the value of this set just all at once doubled, basically, because of the number of minis and the size. Like this bat, they don't have it to scale, but this bat is a very large figure. It's at least twice as tall as these humanoid size. And then this skeleton's, it's a 3-inch base, so it's going to be like a storm giant type size. And they said they're going to do that for the Briarwood. So here's the next release. The next unlock is a werebear. They're throwing in bases for free without anything. Now, this is like a $5 value based on the base boss Kickstarter. And they moved Sharandar the Cruel up, so he unlocks earlier because people have been asking for big dragons. I know this isn't as big as their 50th anniversary dragon. That was probably also going to be like $30, and probably like $75 at retail. But this would be a nice red dragon with those horns. This would be a nice red dragon. It's chunky. It's sizable. They've showed it off a couple times. They've shown off the Resin Master a few times. And it's a solid chunk of plastic. They released a whole bunch of fluff, a big 30-page like Green Griffin RPG setting stuff. There's 3 different buildings. There's history. There's NPCs, hooks. There's basically everything but stat blocks there, so they're pushing that. On the main page, they added all these updates that have the spin-arounds. So like we'll look at the update, the close-ups update for the Briarwood. If it'll load on me. So you can see they have the spinning, look at the like huge cap on that red cap. That's fun. Kelpie's Will-o'-the-Wisps, the Briar guys, the Nightmare. They said the Nightmare was hard to photograph because of the weird angles. I agree. I think the spin around's a lot better because I don't think any one angle really does it justice. But that's sweeping. I mean, that's not a one-piece mold. That one there is a complicated balancing act. Crawdad preview, which hasn't been released yet. This is going to be in the Denizens. Again, so where to get your information? Obviously, from the Kickstarter page, updates. That's where you get your main information. But then the Twitch live streams every day. And so they do Reaperland on Thursdays or Wednesdays. They do Reaper Live Thursday nights at 7 Eastern. And they're doing these daily coverage. If it keeps going slow, they said they're going to knock it down to 3 times a week. And then the Bones, the Reaper Bones, or the Reaper Mini Forum, they have all the previews. People are posting all the pictures of stuff. So here's some dwarves that haven't been unlocked. This value, the 1.6 million, that's going to change. They have been shuffling stuff around and replanning and readjusting to try to drum up some more excitement. So they're learning as they go, right? They mentioned at a previous live show that they got burned on shipping at Bones 1. They got burned on shipping on Bones 5 because price of shipping tripled with the shipping crisis. So they're learning as they go. So they thought they would do little tiny stretch goals that would keep unlocking every day. If they would have kept on pace with Bones 3 and 4, They'd be, 20, 25,000 a day. They'd be unlocking a stretch goal, one stretch goal every single day during the slow period. We had a couple $12,000 days. That's a little too slow. Need to drum up some excitement. I don't think the value's there. You used to be able to get a mini, like it was 75 cents a mini. Right now they're sitting at a little over $1 for the core set and about $2 for these expansions. But you can see we haven't seen these dwarves yet. So those are cool. We haven't seen much of anything of these. I don't know if these are troglodytes or deep folk, deep men. But I need some Sahuagin. So I'm excited about this. The Denizens of the Dungeon is going to have all the monsters in it, so that's going to be awesome. And then the Hakir is going to be the Egyptian theme, which I don't have a lot of. So I'm excited about those 3 expansions, the Fae, the Denizens, and the Hakir. This was previewed a long, long time ago, this 3-stage. Like, there's like Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and like Conan the King. So like as you level up your epic tier, you're beginning your level 1 adventurer, your level like 7 to 10 adventurer, your level like 15 to 20 adventurer. All the same class. Again, that might not make it into this Kickstarter, but it's something they've previewed. So the Bone Forum have all the screenshots of all this stuff. Some of it's pretty old. We've seen all these, all the skeletons. We've seen the 50th anniversary dragon. They've been talking about these coins forever. We've seen the gnome. We haven't seen that minotaur or the goblin yet. Those are probably going to be in Denizens. Unless the Minotaur's in its own little add-on. We haven't seen these salamanders. That sounds like it's going to be in an encounter. They previewed, they had some fake names, but they're probably not too far off. Phoenix Egg and stuff. There's a Deep Folk King, so that might be its own encounter. Those Deep Folk and this guy might be its own encounter. These guys have all been released. But, and there's that dragon again. So you can see we're kind of, this is a good place to do that. And then for the excitement, they have a pretty active Discord channel too. The Reaper Discord channel has a Kickstarter specific channel here. It's pretty active. It's got some mixed stuff. There's been some negative comments during this Kickstarter. I think everybody's just a little upset with rising prices when money's tighter at the same time. But there's some positive comments in here. There's definitely positive comments on the Reaper forum. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for positivity and not like, hey, I want this, which seems to be a lot of what the Kickstarter page is, go to the forums, go to the Discord, browse around a little bit, look at the pictures for upcoming stuff that may or may not be unlocked. This 2-headed troll, Glubgrot, something, he was accidentally previewed during a live show. They had an issue where their photo reel just started going as fast as it could at the beginning of the show without having to turn it on. We haven't seen this owl yet. We got the ants. So, exciting stuff there. So what do we have left on Bones main page? Well, we're going to get to this dragon real soon because that's going to unlock excitement. And actually, that's about probably 4 days away. That's about due for Friday. Even Friday seemed to be big for Kickstarter. So they might make a really big Friday and then a really, really slow Sunday. But we've got this dragon and then a wolf pack. And then hopefully we start previewing the other 2 expansion sets because, we're already over 1 million. If they don't start getting more excitement, we're not going to hit 2 million. They might hit 2.5, might hit 2.7, but they might hit just about 2. So that's going to be tough. So core set, we're going to be adding some wolves here. We're going to be adding some monsters. Oh, Ron, during the live preview, Ron said something about gnolls and that they've already done a Lucrata in with the Greek expansion, the Greek Odyssey for Bones 5. And he made some other mentions. So I think there's going to be a huge hyena called a hyenodon. It's like a dinosaur era giant hyena. So I think that's going to go in the Denizens are in the core set. I think it was the Denizens. They're going to do the next social stretch goal on Wednesdays. So the next two ones will be Wednesday, and again, hopefully, that drums up support for the big Friday. If we unlock that on Thursday or Friday, that'll be good, and everybody will share and say, "Hey, get in on this Kickstarter," and people come look and then be like, "Oh yeah, it's Friday, it's payday. Let's jump in on that." So Green Griffin's got one more. This bar is huge. I'm not big on terrain. I like the flat maps where I can see. We're completely unlocked here because they dropped this. They dropped the 5th stretch goal. Briarwood, they're going to unlock 4 and 5 at the same time. So we still haven't gotten 3 yet, the bees, but 4 and 5. So we got 30,000. We got about 4 stretch goals there, so we got about 6 days, and then another 4 here. So maybe by the end of the week we'll unlock both of these together at 1.2. If you haven't seen this stuff yet, man, look at these fairy dragons, 7-inch fairy dragon, an alicorn that hasn't been modeled yet, just because so many people asked for it. That's what I'm saying. They're reacting to the comments. It seemed a little disorganized at the beginning, but really they're listening to their backers. So these 3 things are what I'm the most excited about: is Fae, Denizens of the Dungeon, and Lost Tombs of Kar. I would, even if you're not interested now, I would keep your eyes on it. Even if Master Series paint isn't your favorite stuff, Reaper Core Color, this is $1.50 a bottle. I don't know that I've seen clearance paint for $1.50 a bottle.